Hey team, hope everyone is doing well. I came across a really great little primer on 1031 exchanges that I got from my CPA. I just want to share a quick tidbit with you. A few items on here I think that'll help you. I know that most of you are familiar with 1031s, but there's just a few little nuggets here I think are really pretty good and worth sharing. To check out the full article, just go here to haneycpas.com/1031-exchanges. Or you can shoot me an email and I can just send you the link. Not a big deal. But good stuff, and we'll jump in real quick. So what qualifies and where investors get tripped up? And this is kind of why I wanted to share this with you. So in short, what is a 1031? I know most of you know this, but it's selling a piece of an investment property or business use real estate and deferring the taxes by rolling the proceeds into another qualifying property. So you're just deferring the taxes. You're not going to never pay taxes on it, but you're deferring the taxes when you sell one piece and you get something different. So the cool thing is it's named after Section 1031 of the IRS code, but I didn't know this, but it's been around for over 100 years in some form or another. So it's not like it's a new thing. The key concept though is like kind. You're exchanging one like kind property for another, and we'll get into that a little bit lower down. But the IRS requires a third-party intermediary facilitate the exchange process, and we know that there's those title companies that do 1031 division. They have to hold the money. The client, you can't touch the money. The client can't touch the money, or avoids the exchange. So this goes on to talk about what qualifies. There were a few changes under the old Tax Cut and Jobs Act. That changed it. Apparently before you could do other things that were not real property, but at this point it's real property only. So what's eligible? Commercial buildings, rental properties, raw land, industrial facilities, retail centers, oil, gas, and mineral interests, things like that. And you can even do leaseholds, not that we have those, apparently you can. But this is the part that I wanted to share right here. It's worth noting, the IRS treats it's like kind. They don't have to be the same type of property. So you don't have to change, a fourplex for another fourplex or anything like that. It can be raw land, as it says here, like raw land for an apartment complex or a strip mall for a warehouse. It's the point is they're held for an investment or business use. That's what the IRS means as a like kind. So it has nothing to do with the type of property. It's that you own it as an investment. So what doesn't qualify? There's a few things that don't. Fix and flip. If you're just doing it to resale real quickly, you can't do this. If it's a primary residence, you can't do it. If it's a second home or vacation home, you can't. You maybe not. There's some strict uses, and that's what I want to cover really quickly here as well. And then if it's foreign property, you can't do it. So vacation rentals, that's where it's really interesting, right? So this goes on and spells out here that you can probably do a vacation like a VRBO, but it's got to be rented for at least 14 days in the year. But then your use of it is limited to the same 14 days or 10% of the rental days, whichever is greater. So if you want to use that place in St. George as a rental and do an exchange on it, you got to demonstrate that you rented it for however many days you stayed in it as a rental. So if you stayed 30 days in it on your own in the middle of winter, you got to rent it for at least 30 days to kind of make the justification that it really was a rental. The taxpayer must meet these criteria for at least 2 years before and after the exchange. Couple other things that you probably already know, the rules on the timing. You have 45 days to identify, 180 days to close, and your intent matters. They look at this, on the timing, that if you're just trying to do something to avoid taxes, they're going to nail you for that. There's no statutory holding period, but retaining the replacement property for at least a year after is generally considered a prudent guideline. So if you go exchange something, you want to turn around and sell it 30 days later, it's probably going to avoid it. So whatever else you exchange for, you got to hold it for at least a year, and then you could sell it if you wanted to. Finally, they go on to talking about what the role of the intermediate, the qualified intermediary is, and then advanced exchange options like somebody that wants to do a reverse exchange where you buy first and sell later. Don't have time to cover that, but it is in the article. So again, you can go back to Haney & Company CPAs or haneycpas.com/1031 exchanges Whew, that's a lot. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. Reach out if you have questions. I hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you soon.